So Ryan Garcia hasn't even stepped foot in the ring with Devin Haney yet, and he's already talking about possibly knocking out Isaac Cruz in less than 5 rounds, okay? And my questions in this video I want to ask is it possible in a hypothetical situation, if these two was to get in the ring, will and can Ryan Garcia knock out Isaac Pitbull Cruz? And I want to talk about it, but before I get into it, I want to welcome everybody back to the channel. Much love, peace, blessings, and everything in between. Really appreciate everybody for checking into the video. You guys know how we do. Feel free to smash the like button, subscribe button, all that good stuff, man. Much appreciated. Now, I seen this interview that he had. I think it was with Fight Hub TV. Okay, it was Fight Hub TV, but I think I seen it on ES News, where he was basically, asked about Isaac Cruz and how he feel about that fight. Okay, and basically what he said was he basically feel like he can get him out of there in 5 rounds, and that it'll pretty much be easy work. And he was going into some of the things that Raleigh did that was actually wrong, and what, basically breaking down the fight and what he saw that went wrong. And in this video, I just basically want to kind of talk about it, give my thoughts on how I would see that playing out. But before I jump into it, I want to get into a little bit of this interview real quick, and then we'll talk about it from there.
Do great. So, thank you. God bless you. I can't wait to see you fight.
Thank you so much.
Hey Ryan, I had a quick question, real quick before moving.
Yeah.
What do you think of Tank? Not Tank. What do you think of Pitbull calling you out after the fight?
Oh, yeah, I've been calling him out though. I mean, that dude. When I was making my comeback fight, I was pressing that fight hard. After that 1.5-year layoff, and he didn't want it, and then he still didn't want it after I beat Tega, and then he didn't want it after I beat Fortuna, and then I called him again out, so many times, and I even it was even ordered by the WBC for us to fight. I mean, obviously they went around it, so it doesn't really matter, bro. Like all that, like what mandatory shit don't matter, bro.
So, all right, so first of all, Ryan Garcia basically saying he's been calling out Pitbull Cruz for a long time, and the fight never materialized. Now, we know Pitbull Cruz is with the PBC, so that's something that you definitely got to think about when you think about who's ducking who and things of that nature. We know the business of boxing. We know these guys sign with different promoters or different management companies, but in this situation, I don't necessarily think it was a situation where Pitbull was just ducking him. I don't think he's that kind of guy, but if you want to call it that, that's up to you. But in my personal opinion, when it comes down to the way both of these guys fight, and in some of the recent previous fights that they had, I think Isaac Cruz, his pressure style is kind of relentless. Okay, now I would say this: Ryan Garcia is taller, he's very, very quick, and he got good counterpunching ability. And I think we've seen certain instances like that when he was fighting against the Duarte guy, where he was basically pressuring Ryan Garcia, putting a little bit of pressure on him, but he wasn't really taking care of business once he got close, if that makes sense. He was getting in there a little bit, but he didn't really do what he was supposed to do. He was a little bit gun shy when he got close to Ryan. I think that had a lot to do with the counterpunching. He was afraid to get hit. Not really afraid, but you know what I'm trying to say. He was trying to watch out for the counter punches because Ryan do have fast hands. But in my personal opinion, I don't really think Isaac Cruz would be kind of worried about that, because he's right at that height where he's not really concerned, because his head is low. He keeps his hands up and he walks forward, and he's very strong. So let me get into this, and then we'll talk some more about how the matchup will play out.
When you sleep, Devin, Pitbull got to be next, right? Got to be. That'd be a massive.
I would love for that to happen, but it won't happen. I'll tell you why. Politics, brother. PBC will not let nobody fight me unless I be fighting with them. I'm just being real with you.
So, in my personal opinion, if he feels like he's not going to get a fight with the PBC fighters, why are you calling? I don't understand why fighters do this. They know they're not going to get the fight with the PBC fighters, but they're still doing all that yapping. All right, you're doing all that. I called him out after this fight. I called him out after that fight. That's fine and dandy, but if you know you're not going to get the fight, why are you still calling this man out? Call out fights that you feel like can actually happen, man, and He's getting in there with Devin Haney next, but he still got to get past Haney because he already got knocked out by Tank. And if he keeps looking like, you know what I'm saying, if he keeps getting certain levels to his game exposed, people are gonna want to start to see him slightly go away. Excuse me. They don't gonna want to hear from him too much more. And in my personal opinion, I think Ryan needs to worry about what he got in front of him. He needs to focus on trying to get a good solid win against a good solid name, and not calling out fighters that he know is not gonna pretty much materialize. In my personal opinion.
Unless it's like a big fight like Tank, but it ain't gonna happen. But they won't want to make that fight happen. Trust me. And Sean, I know he's not with. I guess he is technically with PBC because Sean Gibbons is basically PBC. So, and that dude, you know, I don't want to talk about him no more. But that dude played me too. They all try to make me seem like a liar, and you know. And when I exposed them, they all got sad and got scared because I said, hey, bro, why would you tell me there's a Manny Pacquiao fight for me and make me lose that Tank fight after I fought Campbell? Because you want to lie to me that you had a Manny Pacquiao fight. And nobody ever wants to speak up for me for that. Like, it's funny. Like, my team should have spoke up for me on that, you know, because back then, that shit was a big deal. And everybody was like, oh, you're a liar, and ain't nobody spoke up for me. Keep the energy high.
Man, that boy Ryan Garcia be yapping. Nah, man, I don't dislike Ryan Garcia. I think he's a pretty funny guy, man. But at the end of the day, I don't understand, like I said before, I don't understand why these fighters keep trying to call out guys who they know they're not going to be able to get the fight with. And saying that he'll knock Pitbull Cruz out within 5 rounds. I mean, when you really think about it, does that seem like realistic to y'all? I mean, I have not seen Pitbull Cruz even get knocked out yet from anybody, let alone get knocked out in 5 rounds, man. I just don't see it. He got in there with a guy like Tank, who's extremely strong, who got good counter-punching ability. He gave him a very, very tough fight. Pretty close fight, but I think Tank Davis made it clear. He was, you know, way more quicker to the punches. He was, you know, faster twitch muscles. And I think now Pitbull is getting even better than when he fought Tank. He's got more experience now. He's got a belt under him now. So, I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't necessarily see Ryan knocking him out, let alone even winning the fight. Okay, because in my personal opinion, I think Pitbull is stronger than Ryan. So even though he may have issues getting through his height and his speed, I think eventually he'll be able to, you know, open up the door once he keep knocking on it, because he's just that kind of a relentless pressure fighter. He's strong. He got a lot of heart, and the dude is Mexican, for crying out loud. And those boys, they bring their hard hat and they bring their lunchbox and they go to work, and that's facts. You know what I'm saying? So, in my personal opinion, I would like to see that fight. I don't necessarily think that'll be happening at any time soon, but it is what it is. Let's get back to it.
Style is usually one of the styles run into a lot.
My favorite style.
And it's Warren.
Yeah, it's my favorite style of all time. I mean, I can't count how many times I sparred somebody like that, fought somebody like that, been in the gym with somebody like that. And he is definitely much smaller than me, even smaller than Duarte. Duarte fought similar to him, just bigger and maybe slower. Not as aggressive, but still very similar style. They could deny it all they want, but Duarte and Cruz had a very similar style. I would just be fighting a somewhat smaller version and possibly a little bit better than Duarte, but I can handle that because.
When he fought Duarte, let me see here.
For 23 fights, we saw that Ryan's good at dishing it out. But against Tank Davis, he showed he wasn't so good at taking it. He's going to have to deal with a lot of body shots from Duarte.
There's something to remember about Duarte. He is a pressure fighter, but he doesn't throw as he's coming in. He waits till his opponent gets stationary. He can't.
Did y'all hear what he just said? He says the thing about Duarte is he does come in forward, but when he gets there, he doesn't throw. He waits till his opponent gets stationary. And I think, in my personal opinion, that's completely the opposite of what Pitbull Cruz do. Now, I did see in certain instances where he was a little bit shy versus Tank, okay? But we seen versus Raleigh just recently, even when, Raleigh, he was, he never really had Pitbull in any kind of trouble. But for the most part, anytime Pitbull is coming forward, man, he don't stop coming forward. He keeps pressing forward, and he keeps swinging. And he's throwing overhand rights, and he's throwing lefts, and he's just throwing everything he got at you. And not just like throwing with his hands. Like, he's getting power from the ground like he's supposed to. And you can see he got a lot of mustard on his shots, man. So, in my personal opinion, Ryan Garcia, man, he's make mistakes going backwards. I can see things ending bad for Ryan, in my personal opinion, because of the way in which he fights. He goes forward or he goes backwards. He goes forward and he goes backwards. And I think just how Cruz is short and he's able to move forward and sideways and coming forward, throwing all types of haymakers, I feel like this could be a bad night for Ryan Garcia if they was to ever step in that ring. And that's just my opinion on that.
I knocked out Duarte in 8. I feel like I could knock out Pitbull within 5 rounds.
And using that jab, right? That shit, nice jab.
Yeah, the jab, learn him into, he's coming forward anyway, so he's going to have to eat some. So, again, I know exactly. Rolly's made a mistake. He went back way too much in the fight. He doesn't know how to stop momentum. He doesn't know how to, he doesn't know how to do anything. He's a beginner.
Now, in my personal opinion, y'all, Ryan Garcia, he goes backwards too. He goes forward and backwards and forward and backwards. That could be a bad thing. I think he's a little bit better, of course, than Raleigh at that. But, you know what I'm saying? Not much. You know what I'm saying? His chin is in the air. I think Ryan is a lot skinnier than Raleigh. Okay, so I think he's more prone to getting knocked out for sure with a big punch. In my personal opinion. Okay, I think he's way faster than Raleigh, and I think he's a better counterpuncher. But when it comes down to defense, his offense is usually his defense when it comes down to Ryan Garcia, if that makes sense. His offense and his counterpunching is usually what makes fighters slow up, and he's able to move around and reset. But when guys start coming forward and they start putting combinations on Ryan Garcia backs up, and then he ties up. But I think a guy like Pitbull Cruz, he's so short and so powerful. I think, and he's quick, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to be coming forward, doing all types of dangerousness. And, and it'll be pretty bad for Ryan Garcia, in my personal opinion.
I was going to say, Rolly ain't the most technically savvy dude.
It's not even about technical. He just don't know what to do in situations. Like, again, Muhammad Ali didn't have the best technique, but he knew what to do in situations because he's boxed his whole life. He knows.
Stop the cap.
This nigga done brought Muhammad Ali into it, man. Is he serious?
Rollies is still new to the game. He doesn't know how to handle a pressure fighter. You can't just let them get what they want all the time and keep on putting pressure. You need to hold them, push them back, throw them back. Stop the momentum on them, rough them in the inside a little bit, then get back on your bike. You can't just let them.
And that's exactly how you fight 12 rounds and go the distance. You're not knocking him out in 5 rounds, bro. Are you crazy? I don't think that's happening, man. I hear him talking, but we know Ryan Garcia, he got a mouthpiece. He's always yapping. He's always going. But y'all let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about this. It's been a second before a minute since I did a video in here. It's been a little bit longer than I would like to. But I wanted to get in here and drop a video. I saw this going on. I wanted to kind of get in here, give my thoughts, review the videos a little bit, and see how you guys think about it. So feel free to smack the like button, y'all. Don't leave me hanging on this one. And much love, peace, and blessings. Make sure y'all hit the sub button if you're new. And hopefully we'll be back here soon to do some more videos. Y'all know how we do. And I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Peace out.